Aryna Sabalenka has reached a total breaking point, and the world number one is now leading a historic mutiny that could shut down the entire professional tennis circuit. These greedy Grand Slam executives pushed the world's best players into a corner, which forced a high-stakes boycott that is set to change the sport forever. The reality is that the WTA is currently in a state of absolute meltdown as a massive player rebellion begins to take shape right before our eyes. For many years, the people running the major tournaments believed they were untouchable and thought they could keep the players quiet while they pocketed billions of dollars in profit. That era of silence is officially over because Sabalenka and world number 3 Coco Gauff just launched a high-stakes rebellion that will likely lead to a full boycott. This is not just a small disagreement in the locker room, because official documents prove that the players issued a joint statement expressing their deep disappointment with their treatment. The villainous executives at the French Open are now facing their worst nightmare as their biggest stars threaten to walk away just weeks before the gates open in Paris. Reporters in Rome heard Sabalenka explicitly state that a boycott is the only way left to fight for player rights, and she chose her 20th birthday to deliver this ultimatum. The greed of the tennis establishment has finally pushed these women to the edge of a cliff, and the downfall of the current system is happening in real time. Every single fan needs to understand exactly how the scandal started, especially since the first half of this crisis is built on cold financial facts. While the French Open and other majors pretend to care about the growth of a sport, the reality is that they are running a calculated scam to protect their own wealth. Financial records confirm that the revenue shares for the players have dropped to a pathetic 14.9%. If you think about that for a second, the athletes who provide all the entertainment and do all the hard work are getting less than 15 cents for every dollar the tournament earns. This massive insult to every woman who steps onto the court is what triggered the current uprising. Sabalenka and Gauff are demanding that this percentage moves to 22% immediately, which is the same rate that players already receive at smaller 1,000 level events. The Grand Slam leaders are refusing to budge because they want to keep that extra money for their own corporate interests. Their public embarrassment began in Rome when the players finally decided to speak up as a unified front and released a statement that sent shockwaves through the entire industry. The documents prove that the players are no longer willing to accept the crumbs that fall off the table while executives live in luxury. Sabalenka is undoubtedly the hero of this story for making a stand on her birthday when she could have stayed silent and enjoyed her personal success. She chose to fight for everyone else on the tour, which makes her the brave truth teller that these WTA executives fear the most. On the other side of the fence, the manipulative leaders of the Grand Slams are in a blind panic because their billion-dollar business model is starting to unravel. They have lied to the public for years about how much they support the players, and while they claim to be growing the game, they are actually just growing their own bank accounts. The pressure is mounting as more organizations start to distance themselves from these greedy executives and their failing policies. In a shocking twist, the leaders of the Italian Open have actually sided with the players and are now accusing the Grand Slams of creating competitive disparities. This development represents a massive legal and public relations defeat for the people who run the French Open. When your own partners start calling you out for being unfair, it is a clear sign that your time and power is coming to an end. The boycott threat is real, and it grows more dangerous every single day for the tournament organizers. The reality is that the French Open cannot happen without the top stars, and if Sabalenka and Gauff sit out, the entire event becomes worthless. No one is going to pay for expensive tickets to see a draw filled with unknown players that the fans have never heard of. The plan to control the players is failing miserably, and the executives underestimated the strength of the women they were trying to intimidate. Sabalenka has proven that she is a leader who cannot be bought or bullied by corporate threats. This systemic failure of the WTA leadership is now on full display for the entire world to see. They allowed this crisis to explode because they were too busy protecting their friends in high places. Now that the truth is out, there is nowhere left for them to hide from the consequences of their actions.
The athletes have all the leverage in this fight because without them, there is no tennis and there are no television deals. The executives are about to learn a very expensive lesson about respect and fairness that they will never forget. As the rebellion grows, a toxic rift has started to tear through the top 10 of the world rankings. While Sabalenka and Gauff are fighting for justice, World number 48 Swiatek has chosen a different path that many see as a betrayal. Swiatek is currently acting as the villain within the locker room after she called the boycott an extreme absence and urged for more dialogue. This is a classic move to protect the status quo, and by refusing to stand with her peers, Swiatek is acting as a manipulative force that weakens the players. Documents show that her statements have created deep political tension among the elite stars who are trying to secure a better future. While her fellow players are putting their entire careers on the line for better pay, Swiatek is playing both sides of the fence. This division is exactly what the Grand Slam executives want because it allows them to continue exploiting the tour. Swiatek's actions are being viewed as a betrayal of the unity that Sibylline worked so hard to build over the last several months. Even though they shared a strange moment of camaraderie in a recent press conference, the underlying tension is undeniable to anyone watching closely. Sibylline had to ask Swiatek for help with a question she couldn't answer, but behind the scenes, they are on opposite sides of a bitter war. The hero is fighting for the future of the sport while the villain is playing it safe to keep the establishment happy. Defending Rome champion Jasmine Paulina has already weighed in on the matter, and she is firmly siding with the Sibylline push for unity. This move proves that the majority of the tour understands exactly what is at stake for their livelihoods. They know that if they do not fight right now, they will never get the fair treatment they deserve from these organizations. Specific clauses in the rulebox and the financial evidence are all pointing toward the same conclusion. The system is rigged against the players, and the WTA playbook has always been about keeping them in check through complicated rules and empty promises. Players have finally seen through the lies, and the industry is starting to realize that the old way of doing business is dead. Financial reports from the last few years prove that the Grand Slams have seen exorbitant profits while their media rights deals exploded in value. Despite this massive influx of cash, the percentage given to the players has actually gone down over time. This is the definition of a calculated lie because they tell the players there is no money for raises while they sign bad contracts. It is a disgusting situation, and that is why this mutiny was always going to happen eventually. The innocence of the hero in this fight is clear to anyone who looks at the numbers. They are not asking for everything, but they are asking for a fair share of the wealth they create with their own bodies and talent. Accusations from the establishment claiming the players are being greedy are falling apart under the weight of the evidence. The executives are the ones living in luxury while some players on the tour can barely afford the travel costs to reach the next tournament. The sport has reached a breaking point, and the proposed meeting before Paris is the last chance for the Grand Slams to save themselves from disaster. If they do not agree to the 10% demand, the French Open will be a ghost town this summer. The reputation of the villains is currently in freefall, and every day that passes without a deal makes them look more manipulative. They thought they could treat the players like employees who have no choice but to follow orders, but they were wrong. Power has shifted, and it is now firmly in the hands of the athletes who actually play the game. Sibylline and Def have shown the world what real leadership looks like by standing up to the bullies and refusing to back down. Fans are starting to take notice of the situation, and people do not want to support a tournament that treats its stars like garbage. The systemic implications of this mutiny will be felt for decades because this is about changing the fundamental structure of professional tennis. The days of the Grand Slams acting like kings and queens who answer to nobody are over. They are now facing a reality where they have to be partners with the players or they will have no business left to run. Tension in the locker room is at an all-time high as the countdown to the French Open continues. Players are ready to walk away and sacrifice their chance at a trophy to ensure a better future for the next generation of athletes. This is the ultimate sacrifice, and it proves that their cause is just unnecessary for the survival of the sport. These greedy executives thought they could weigh this out, but the players are more united than they have ever been before. The rift caused by the lack of support from the villain has only made the resolve of the hero much stronger. The entire industry is watching, the sponsors are getting nervous, and the world is waiting to see who will blink first in this standoff. The truth is already out, and the Grand Slam leaders have been caught arrested in their own deception. They try to keep the players in a cage of low pay and high expectations, but the cage has finally broken open. Sirung and her team of rebels have changed the game forever, and their era of exploitation is coming to a crashing end. The people in charge have no one to blame but themselves for this disaster. These executives thought they would destroy the players, but they only destroyed themselves.